Okay, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to CGT Finals, the finals of the Champions of Galar, where we're taking on Vepsis and his Helsinki Hydreigens. Very fitting final, given that we are both very, very close friends, and because we both finished the first and second seed. So hopefully, the better player comes out on top, and we can get a good game for you all in finals. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a solid game, and I'm excited to close out the season against one of my best friends. So that's a great feeling. Other than that, I'm wanting to kind of play this game a little bit more, not laid back, but a little differently, in the sense that this is probably going to be my last draft league game for a very, very, very long time. Because, I'm here in London now, and I want to, do some different things, not be bogged down by mons. So I've kind of told myself that this is kind of going to be my sort of last major league that I participate in, at least for, the foreseeable future. I'm not getting Scarlet and Violet or anything like that, so it kills any possibility for it. So I'm very happy that my last game is against Vepsis, and I'm also stoked that it's in the CGT. And in that same realm, you're going to see the team builder in a bit, but I kind of went with a team that wasn't necessarily the smartest team to bring, but the team that I wanted to bring for my final game. I made a team, and the day of the game I changed it because I felt like the team that I made was just kind of boring and not something that I was interested in running. It didn't feel emblematic of how I play, so I decided to change it up for something that I found a little bit more enticing for me, and thought they would be sets that would be more fun to run. Not that they're not real sets, they're like totally normal sets, but they're just sets that I think I would find more enjoyable. So you'll get to see those in the team builder, which is pretty cool. But yeah, and the last order of business is just I am filming this after the game has already been played. And the thing that I want to say before you watch this video is just make sure you watch the entire video, because there's going to be parts and clarification and so many different nuances and components to each of the specific sections. We're going to have a post-game interview with Vepsis that you're definitely going to want to watch, and yeah, so be sure to watch the entire video, and I really appreciate you all. So thank you all for this season, thank you all for this generation. I really appreciate you all. Let's try and close it out by becoming the Champions of Galar. So you're going to be able to see Vepsis' team beneath me. For those who don't know, he hasn't lost a game since week 3, and I attribute a lot of that to him kind of getting to know his team over time, but also a lot of it I think can be attributed to a free agent he made through the middle of the season, where he ended up picking up Hydreigen, and having to deal with those top 3, the Landorus, Necrozma, and Hydreigen, has been pretty much impossible for a lot of people. Thankfully, I have the fairies necessary to deal with Hydreigen technically. The downside to it is that both my fairies are water types, and Raikou is such a huge threat to my team. So a lot of this is going to be mind games. I think there's a lot of mons that he can bring that are very strategic and very effective against me, but I think he's going to have a difficult time narrowing it down to 6, which is a problem that I have as well. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The first set that you're going to see on your screen is Aegislash. I think that Hydreigen still comes despite my double water fairy, and I think it'll come with like Choppleberry for a close combat Aegislash. So Emil and I were workshopping what the best sort of option was for us in terms of how to take down Hydreigen and deal as sort of maximum damage as possible to Elias's team, since he has such a ghost weakness. And we ultimately decided on this set, where we would be able to autonomize Click Shadow Ball a couple times, but mainly Steel Beam would be sort of the biggest tech that we could have with a Metal Coat boost that would be able to one-shot defensive Hydreigen, and what he would expect to be a stop to Aegislash would not actually be a stop to Aegislash. Destiny Bond is that last slot there. Could have been Shadow Sneak, it could have been King Shield, but we ended up going with Destiny Bond, which is a move that I don't think I've ever run on Aegislash. If so, I've never clicked it. But the idea behind that is if his other option to take a hit from AG Slash after I boosted up is Raikou, say he's like an Assault Vest Raikou or just a really bulky like Boots Raikou that can take a Shadow Ball, I want to be able to Destiny Bond it because I have a few mons in the back that really appreciate Raikou being, you know, dead, and that will open up a lot of gates for me to win the game. So this is kind of our main breaker. This is Zarude. I changed Synthesis for jungle healing last minute. This is the best mon that we have for Raikou on this team technically. I wanted to bring Stunfisk. I had this sort of argument with Jack when I was like looking at the team for the first time and he happened to be around, and he was kind of under the impression that like I should just bring like a Restock Stunfisk and just like, you know, just try and wall the Raikou out. But my issue with that is that if he's Calm Mind, I'm not necessarily doing much, and I think that a defensive response to Raikou that doesn't have some kind of offensive pressure slash force progress is going to give Elias a lot of leeway in, you know, like his setup, like Landorus and Necrozma and even like Calm Mind Raikou, like I said. So this seems a little bit more offensive, and despite not having a counter or honestly even a check for Raikou, I feel like I can get around it okay, just in the sense that like I have a few mons that can like sponge one hit and deal a lot of damage back, as well as a few options to revenge it, so that's pretty good. Zarude is also just like very good in terms of its offensive stab. His dark resists don't really appreciate U-turns, and Landorus and so his two dark resists are Hydreigon and Primarina. He might have more, I'm trying to remember, but either way, Hydreigon gets U-turned on and Primarina just dies to a Power Whip, so it's pretty good. Pretty aggressive creeps here. I'm kind of creeping Landorus, creeping Finny, which allows me to roll with Adamant Zarude, which might be a risk, but I think that it's going to be worth it, especially if he brings a defensive Landorus. I want to be able to like Darkest Lariat and then kill with Power Whip after rocks, which would be super cool. Yeah. And I'm just Boots because like I didn't want to take Rock Strip, and through the few mocks that I did, like Zarude taking Rock Strip was pretty rough. So yeah, that's why we're Boots. Mian Xiao was a last minute change. I put it on the team literally the morning of the game. It's Choice Scarf, Adamant, and there to get speed control against him, to outspeed stuff like Raikou, to outspeed stuff like Talonflame, to outspeed stuff like +1 Necrozma. Close Combat, Knockoff, Giga Impact, and U-Turn. Knockoff and Close Combat and U-Turn are pretty self-explanatory. Giga Impact was Poison Jab, but then when I was genning, I kind of thought to myself that Primarina barely came in any mocks, and Giga Impact would be funny to click during the finals game, and also because of Prism Armor, if he's like, say, Dragon Dance and I need to outspeed Necrozma, Knockoff's not doing a ton, Giga Impact does technically more, so it's just nice to have that option in case like I'm staring down a Necrozma that I don't kill with Knockoff. Azumarill is pretty cool. Debating between Band and Rindoberry. I ultimately decided to go Rindoberry because I think Serena's just like has to come this game. I got 2 water types, and it's pretty offensively good against me. It has coverage for all my grass resists, so I think it's pretty obvious that it's coming, and I think it's probably one of his better swap-ins to Azumarill, especially since on paper Water move looks pretty like a free click against him, even though I don't actually have Liquidation on this set. I had Liquidation like a couple days ago, and I swapped it for Ice Punch because it's a nice sort of like middle ground if I'm in against something like a Hydreigon or a Landorus, and he goes into Serena, so I just get super effective coverage in both instances. Rindoberry allows me to stay in and take a Power Whip and KO back, which is super, super nice, because I don't really want to swap out and then get U-turned on and then sort of get caught in this cycle. So anything that I can do to stop any of his pivoters from getting any leeway is pretty good. This next mon is Crobat. Crobat's interesting this week. I could have chosen between 2 EV spreads here. I could have chosen between a very offensive, fast Crobat that basically just was all-out attacker and wasn't really meant to live any hits. Or I could have chosen this sort of spread, which is a little bulkier but still has some offensive potential. And the reason I want some bulk on it is just because I want to make sure I'm living things like Triple Axel from Serena. I want to make sure I'm living things like T-Bolt from Raikou from full if possible, as well as Stone Edge from, I think, Zero Attack Landorus was something else I was looking at. So all of these things are really important to me in terms of taking hits. Also, I want to make sure that I'm not dying to, I believe it was Hydreigon's Draco was another thing that I wanted to make sure I wasn't dying to, hence all the spit off. So, but it's mainly Raikou. This is a mon that hopefully can trade 1-for-1 with Raikou in a perfect scenario. Super Fang into Double Edge won't KO it, but it has a chance to after rocks. I was originally debating going with like Silk Scarf, which would have made Super Fang into Double Edge KO Raikou, but I think I have a lot to pressure Raikou as is, so it's not the biggest concern in the world. Inner Focus, I also have that on me and Xiao, I forgot to mention. It blocks Intimidate from Landorus, which is super great. And then the last move I was between Taunt and U-Turn, ended up going with Taunt because out of all the mons on my team, this is probably the one that Necrozma with Dragon Dance can set up on the easiest. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't possible for him to do so. Yeah. And then the last mon is Mesprit. This was Nihilego, I believe, before the morning of the game. And the reason I made the change is because the Nihilego set prior was a sweeper set, and I didn't feel like I was that interested in using it. It was kind of a weird set that was very situational, and I was kind of convinced that Elias would be kind of like well prepared for it, knowing that I brought Nihilego against like steel types that should technically wall it, similar to Metagross, in the past 2 weeks. So I decided that I want to play with rocks, you know what I mean? Like I think it would be better to just do my typical like pivot around, set up some rocks, hit some buttons, and go from there. We're not ranked Psychic this week. Ice Beam Shadow Ball is pretty perfect coverage against him with the exception of like Primarina, but I would think after I set up a Nasty Plot, he wouldn't just go into Primarina, unless I've already revealed all my moves. So I think Ice Beam and Shadow Ball hits a lot of stuff. Like it hits Necrozma, it hits Landorus, it hits Hydreigon, it hits Metagross. Yeah, it just makes sense. So the idea is to lead it, set up Stealth Rocks, and then maybe click Nasty Plot and get some damage off on some stuff in order to eventually get some momentum into one of my pivoters, and hopefully stuff's chipped enough for you know, all of this to work out. The reason I'm Helmet is because I think a +2 Shadow Ball against Spadef Metagross it doesn't KO, but after Helmet chip it does, so that helps. And it's also nice if he ends up leading something like a Landorus that clicks U-turn against me, or even if he leads Hydreigon. I think if he was to lead Hydreigon, which I don't think he will, but if he was to, knowing I have a Azumarill in the back, I think it's far more likely that he'll click U-turn on Hydreigon, which will then put in range of Steel Beam regardless of rocks or not. So it's just a very useful item here. Yeah, okay, that's it. Cool. Yeah, alright. Let's get into the game. I'm excited. Okay, totally didn't forget to hit start record. But yeah, we're here. We're going up against Vepsis. I'm gonna lay down when I play this. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna lead Mesprit because I think it matches up pretty well. I can get up rocks and then maybe Nasty Plot and take down one thing with me. And I think the least likely lead is Hydra. So cool. Good luck, have fun to Elias. May the best person win. All our games in the past have been really scuffed, so I'm really hoping this one doesn't end up being the same. I think CGT Finals, give him a good one, see how it goes. And the screen is black. The screen is black. Everything's great. Everything's terrible. That's not good. Anytime now. Anytime now. Hello? Hello? Anytime? Hey, look at that. Wow. You see and you shall receive. Alright. Raikou leads. I guess I'm not surprised because like I don't have a ground. Wasn't a common lead in Mox, but should be okay. I don't think it has Shadow Wall, so I'm just gonna get my rocks, I think. Yeah, let's do that. I should be calcing a lot, but I did a lot of calcs beforehand this morning when I changed the team, so I'm just gonna hope my head carries me through them. If I have to calc, I will. Volt Switch. That looks like just general damage. I'll double check to make sure. That did 55 HP. Yeah, that's what's it called? Just max special attack. Nothing special about it. I imagine it'll be boots or leftovers, and we'll find out next time it comes in. The Crossman comes in, that's pretty cool. I think I'm just gonna Nasty Pod here. I feel like I have no reason not to. Just threaten this thing out a little bit more. I imagine he'll try and get up his rocks of his own. If he tries to set up, then I should also be okay. Nasty Pod comes off. Now, part of me... Okay. I might die to this. I guess we'll just find out. I think if I'm... Yeah, if he's modest, this should kill me. Maspert's the goat. Awesome. Okay, so I think we just Shadow Ball now. Pretty free. I don't think he goes Hydra. I don't think it kills this, though. So maybe Ice Beam was better, because if he does go Hydra, I could cover that. And 2-hit KO this with Ice Beam into Shadow Ball if he were to stay in. I mean, obviously it would kill me if he were to stay in, but... Yeah, I still feel like that was loose. I feel like I should have Ice Beamed. If he goes Hydra, I'm gonna regret it a lot. That's just those finals nerves for you. Have not been in a Wi-Fi finals game for YouTube in a while. Oh, please don't go into Hydra again. If I had just taken 5 more seconds to think. Ah, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. No. Okay, we're not out of it or anything by any means. It's just... Oh, that's annoying. Ah. Shoot. Okay. Well, I want to go into Azu here, but I think the odds that he U-turns are kind of high because I haven't revealed my item. So I'm just gonna Shadow Ball in case like he switches out or U-turns or something. That's fine. I wish I had gone to Azu, but if he were to U-turn into Serena, that would suck. So I'm okay with that. I did a lot. Got up rocks. Got some damage on this thing, and now I just get to go into Azu and hopefully claim something. To be honest with you. Like, I don't know what the immediate switch in is. I could just go for Ice Punch. That covers the Serena, so I'll do that. If he goes into like a defensive Metagross, I should be able to just click knock off the next turn. I have some bulk, so I should be able to live any hit from Metagross, and Metagross being shoved would be great for Crobat, so I wouldn't mind that. No Talon's great. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this is the Serena. It is the Serena. That's definitely Serena, right? Yes. Okay. Cool. Yachi? Potentially Yachi. But if not, this is going to do a shit ton. Awesome. Okay. If I was Banded, that would have killed, but I'm Rindo, and that's fine too. So I think I'm just going to knock off here. I've been thinking about this scenario a lot, and I honestly think that in this turn, Elias would never click Power Whip, especially with Aegislash and Crobat in the back. So it would be cool if I was a different item, but he could just Power Whip and I'll be glad to have the item. But I have a feeling he's going to click like Knock or something here, isn't he? I know you, Elias, you're going to click Knock Off. And then you're going to be really angry. You're going to be like, why would she stay in? I know you for a fact. But no, this play makes sense for me because I'm Rindo, so it should be okay. Either way. Joke's on you, I'm Sapsiper as well. What'd I say? I'm not going into Crobat. It's so funny. I love that. Okay, so Serena's dead. That's actually fucking massive because I think it means rocks are permanent unless it's default Lando. And that would be really cringy. Choice Scarf. I did not see Choice Scarf coming to this game. That's pretty interesting. That's good to know. Probably means that Lando isn't Scarf. Because I was thinking Scarf Lando might be a thing. So if this was a Scarfer, that's pretty good for me. Okay, this comes back in. Part of me, of course, just wants to go into Zarude. That wouldn't make a ton of sense. I feel like I could just get damage off. I want to see if Play Rough into Aqua Jet kills. Depending on his investment, it looks like there's a shot. I could stay in and test the waters and click Play Rough, which would then in turn allow me to see if I can kill with Aqua Jet. So I think I'll do that. I mean, Zarude is free, but I'm just worried about him predicting it and going for Heat Wave. I know he just predicted, so he might not do it twice, but I still feel like Player Off's the optimal play. Photon Geyser, that's fine, I should live this. It does a lot though, which kind of sucks. Player Off. Yeah, so he has some bulk on it. Aqua Jet won't kill from here, but that's good to know. And now this is like pretty far chipped, which is good. I think now at this point I can go into Zarude. I could stay in, but I like Aqua Jet for Landorus and other things as well. So yeah, Zarude just seems like the better play. Since I stayed in before, I think the odds that he Heat Waves here are kind of low, and if he does, I should live. So that should be okay. Nervous as hell. I feel like I'm coming off in a very like normal manner, but the prospect that this is like my last game of Draft League, I feel kind of loose about it. I thought I'd be really like crying and shit. You know, out of sadness. Darkest Lariat does more, right? Even though Prism Armor, just barely. He's not weakness policy, so it makes the most sense for me to go for it. He can go into Hydra, that would be fine. He just stays in. So I should be able to KO something here. I don't think there's anything he can do to stop me from getting a KO. Unless he goes Lando this next turn, or that happens. That fucking blows. Shit. Okay. I think I just Lariat again. I should kill, because he's gonna stay in because he can't let me jungle healing after that, right? Maybe he swaps out. Maybe I should have jungle healinged there. That sucks. Yeah, maybe I jungle healing, but he could just stay in Heat Wave. He might be figuring out whether this is worthwhile to hold on to or let go. What do we got? Oh man, jungle healing would have been amazing there. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Alright, we're fine though. Darkest Lariat will come off. Does a pretty good amount. And from here we could just U-turn, I think. Obviously part of me wants to roost, or jungle healing rather, but I think I can U-turn. It'll let me know if it's Scarf. It's not Scarf, that's good. And he's a berry. Cool. So citrus berry, probably. Yep, makes sense. I mean, does it make sense? I have no idea, but it's a citrus berry. Oh, it's for Belch. That's obviously it. Okay, so I think I just go into the Inshao here. I think he's gonna either click U-turn, which won't do anything. Oh no, he just clicked Roost. So yeah, I definitely go Inshao here. Right? Am I crazy? What just happened? I think he just clicked Roost. No, he just had his citrus berry. He still has to attack. Yeah, I'm going Inshao. This is not finals game etiquette. He still has a move to click, right? My brain isn't completely broken. Okay, he does. He clicks Roost. I don't think he ever packs a dragon move this game, so that's why I did that. Okay. So, oh god, don't tell me we were having such connection issues earlier. No. Okay, we're good. I'm just going to U-turn here. You're never staying in. Who'd you go into? Metagross? Oh, Landorus. You would go into Landorus. This is the most chaotic finals game commentary you've ever seen in your entire life. Probably not true, but we'll pretend it is. Mora comes in, that's Lando, right? Yep. The crazy in me would have loved to knock this thing off, but that's okay. Inner Focus is good. I'm glad I have Inner Focus. And we get to U-turn here. Awesome. I think Crobat doesn't do anything for me here. I think I have to go Azu in order to weaken it for Crobat Mienshao. It sucks because if Zarude is alive, I would go into Zarude here to do that. But now I think I have to do Azu for that role. I could go into Crobat, but if he's Stone Edge, I don't die, but it does a lot. And Crobat looks like a really nice endgame here if I can Destiny Bond the Raikou. So I think that's the endgame I want to aim for. That's 100% the endgame I want to aim for. I think I get the Aquajet chip on this if he gives it to me. And then I think that I try and get AG Slash in and hope that I think he has to go into Raikou to revenge me, and I click Destiny Bond, kill the Raikou, and then try and clean with Crobat or Mienshao. I think that's how I win this game. I know it's early to make that sort of win condition idea, but I think that that's what I have to do. So I'm gonna click Aquajet here just for the chip, and that should put this in Crobat range. Should put it in knockoff range from Mienshao. He could swap, but that would be okay with me. I think he'd be crazy to go into Hydreigon, so I think he would probably go into like Metagross potentially, or just sack the Necrozma. That wouldn't be too surprising either. What do you see? Psy Boost, Necrozma? No, I'm Necrozma. This is Metagross. This will do like somewhat. This could be Helmet. That's some damage. I think I sack Zarude here. I definitely sack Zarude here. I don't think I can go hard AG Slash. I think hard AG Slash would be kind of a throw. If I was Balloon, I would go hard AG Slash, but I'm not. It's fine. Earthquake. Makes sense. I might live this, but the burn will obviously fucking screw me, which sucks. So much ass. Oh, that burn blows. Oh. Oh, Zarude was so good this game without the burn. Okay, so we're gonna go into AG Slash here. The reason that burn sucks too is because, like, I don't think he would have been able to go to Hydra and get his berry off. I think he would have been forced to sack at that point. But I think you're scared of proccing the weakness policy. So I imagine you sack Necrozma here. Either way, my play is to autonomize always, right? I'm not crazy. I think it is. This set's fucking dope. Shout out to Amel for it. Because there's two ways this could go. Because he can go into Hydra here thinking that Hydra won't die to a close combat, but it'll die to a Steel Beam. But he just stays in. Wow. Okay, so you're not afraid of weakness policy. If I was weakness policy, did I just win here? I don't know. I think he's Kasib. I think that's why he did that. But I've already committed to this. That blows. Yeah, I think he's Kasib. Shoot. He's totally Kasib here. No. Yes, he's not Kasib. Okay, thank God. Oh man, okay. So I guess he just thought I wasn't weakness policy. Or maybe he's really spit off Lando. I'm not sure. He better not be Choice Scarf Raikou. That would be like an insult to Raikou this matchup. Is he actually Choice Scarf Raikou? That would fucking blow. This could be AV as well. I bet this is AV. Regardless, Destiny Bond is my play. AV would make a ton of sense. Scarf doesn't make any sense this matchup, like, at all. It makes zero fucking sense. Or it does. Okay. Double Scarf. Classic. Stunfisk, Trapinch, Zarude. God, this thing's offensive matchup was so good versus me. I did not think that this would come Choice Scarf. My only play not to die is to go into Mienshao. How do I win this? I have to U-turn here. Oh god, please don't disconnect here though. Please. Please don't disconnect here. I beg of you. Okay, good, thank you. Alright, so the play is to U-turn here, because you can't stay in and let this go down. Not possible, won't happen. If I was AV, that'd be nice. If I was AV, that'd be really nice. Alas. Okay. So kill this. Now the question is, do I go into Azu or do I go into Crobat? If I go into Azu and Jet, I can never win because I never get the chip off that I need on Lando, I'm pretty sure. So I think I have to go Crobat here. Right? Because you go Raikou, you just click T-Bolt, then I go into Mienshao, click Knock, and then I have no valid way to win, I'm pretty sure, because I don't have Roost. So I think I have to go Crobat, and yeah, that's the win con. Go Crobat. Hope he goes into Raikou. He has to T-Bolt me, because if he Volt Switches and sacks something, then I win the sack race with Mienshao, I'm pretty sure. That fucking blows. Shit. Fuck, how are we gonna recreate that? Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Elias and come back. What's going on, everyone? I'm gonna try and make this as short and sweet as humanly possible, but essentially, since we disconnected, what happened was Elias saw my Crobat come out when I sent it in, but I didn't see it come out, and that was because the disconnect was a problem on my end. Obviously, like, new apartment, so internet's bad. But what we ended up doing, instead of replaying the entire game, because that would be very difficult to emulate, is just set up a situation where the same HP, where every mon is the same HP, but by just bringing the mons that we had left. So that's why you see 3 mons on his end and 4 mons on mine. The reason you see 4 mons on mine is because I need to get rocks up with Mesprit, so we did that as well. So we basically recreated the HP percentages perfectly, but that's why you see 3 mons on his end and 4 mons on mine. And then the second thing is you're going to see Landorus and Crobat on the field, and that obviously wasn't the case before we disconnected from my POV. But from his POV, he saw Crobat come out, and he said that he was going to go into Landorus. So that is what happened. Cool. All right, enjoy the rest of the game. Okay, so I just got off the call with him, and he says he would go into Landorus, and I don't know why, but we'll take it. I'm wondering if he's trying to pull some kind of setup here, which makes me want to taunt, but I think I'm just going to Super Fang, because if he's giving me damage on this, I'm going to take damage on this for Mienshao. Yeah, okay. This goes off. Edge, Smackdown. Okay, so we're not dead. I'm glad I lived. I'm pretty sure I EV'd to live at least 1 from 0 attack, so should be okay. Now the question is if Brave Bird kills. I'm pretty offensive, so it should, hopefully. I was adamant before this, so I'm kind of sad that I'm not anymore, but I don't know. Okay, so this thing's dead. That's huge for Mienshao, because it means that CC becomes a free click, right? Raikou will come in. I imagine he'll click Volt Switch here. I think I just double edge on the off chance that he chokes and clicks something else. But yeah, T-Bolt comes off. Wish I had quick attack. No. But here I just go into Mienshao and I CC. But I don't think I can win against Raikou, right? Actually, that's not true. He just gave me Landorus. Wait a minute. ICC here. He can't go... He has to go Hydra. Or he has to hope this kills? I think that's... Maybe he's just hoping this kills. Maybe this kills? I don't know. Or maybe he lives a CC. That's possible. T-Bolt lives a CC, clicks T-Bolt again. I Aqua Jet. He kills me with Belch. No, he sacks this. Okay, well now I think I won. Barring a crit. I assumed he did that because Raikou lived close combat. I don't know if he lived close combat, but he could have the bulk for it too. But now he definitely doesn't because of the rocks. Right? Did I just win CGT? I think I just won CGT off a series of massive chokes from him. Off of a disconnect. That feels rough. Okay. So we sack this. I mean, I'm going for the win. I'm not gonna just not take it. Sorry, I should be like celebrating right now. I'm really confused. I feel bad because I think it might have been the disconnect that maybe flustered him. Because I thought he was going to go into Raikou against Crobat and try and go for the T-Bolt roll. But shit, yeah, if we live this, we become CGT champions. Holy fuck. Okay, let's do it. Live. You're not modest. I calced this versus Mesprit. Para? Kill? Holy fuck. Yo. I don't know how to feel. Wow. And of course now the game lags like this. I won, right? That was his last mon. That was 100% his last mon. Lando died, Hydra died, this died. Okay. Well, now the screen's just frozen on me and Xiao. Goes to show how terrible Gen 8 Wi-Fi is. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go talk to... It's still not closing out. It said you defeated Vepsis. I'm gonna go talk to him, and there's 100% gonna be a more nuanced outro for this game, because it was really good, and then the ending got really scuffed. So we want to make sure that we tie up all the loose ends we possibly can do. So I'm gonna go call him. Yeah, he just messaged me saying like that he was super flustered from the disconnect. So okay, I'll see you all then. Of course, then it closes out. Crazy. Are you good?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to start it off.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the post-game, the post-everything of this very bizarre, very scuffed, very interesting finals game that we had this finals. Yeah. For those of you who are seeing this on Elias's channel, hello. I am the person that Elias played. For those of you who are seeing this on my channel, that is Vepsis. Either way, like, I'm sure you know both of us. But yeah, we wanted to explain to you sort of what we talked about in the post-game, because there was some scuffedness that we kind of realized was kind of impossible to resolve when the end game played out. So essentially what you witnessed was during a crucial point in the game, we disconnected, and what that led us to do was we sat in call with each other, and we essentially tried to emulate where we were in the game through just like modifying HP percentages and making sure that like everything was like the same way it was. But we didn't, replay the entire game, because that'd be like functionally impossible, especially given like I think a few like a heat wave burn or something like that was not going to be possible to emulate. So what we ended up doing is recreating all the the 3 mons that we had left, and just making sure that they were all alive and at the same health. And the way that we set it up, we were essentially talking the whole way through and kind of bantering, because like we're friends. And we put ourselves in a situation where, because of the timer, And because of us having to recreate while at the same time dealing with that 60-second timer per turn, we were figuring out what to do within those 60 seconds. And when we were at the end part of the game where I had just sent out Crobat, the timer sort of do you want to explain this?
Yeah, so basically what was happening, like towards the end of it, when we were starting to like realize that, okay, this is where we wanted to be, this is sort of where we are at when it comes to 3 months being at their health and Stealth Rocks being in the field for Addison. The one thing that we failed to do is to kind of give, at least for my end, give enough time to actually think about like, all right, what do I want to do next? Because basically where it cut out was that Addison made her choice after clicking U-turn with me and Sound, killing my Necrozma that I sacked in, and she already made her decision going to Crobat. Where it caught up was that I needed to make my decision that who I go into next. And I was supposed to have a full minute of thinking that who do I go into and have a chance to think about the late game, like literally just like 3 to 4 turns to think about within a minute how I played it out. But because the way we were kind of like trying to create the scenario, the only amount of time that I essentially got to choose what I can do for the late game was around like 10 seconds, like actual time. Like as we ended the call, I was like in a point that I'm seeing like 5, 4, 3, 2 going on my screen. And I made just a very swift decision that I'll stay with Lando because it's in the field. Where in reality, once we ended the call, I'm like, I probably should have gone into Raikou actually.
Yeah.
So, like actually thinking about this. But at that point on, I was like, well, I'll just play it out. We are here now. Just see what happens. And then it was very obvious early on once I lose my Landers. I'm like, yeah, this was a joke.
Yeah.
And then, so at that point, it became a kind of like a difficult situation for each of us. But it was always something that once we finished it, we jump into call and find a solution for this. And it was quite obvious that each side were trying to make sure that not ourselves, but the other side was comfortable what we decide.
We like honestly cared more about the other side than
yeah, like it was
ourselves.
Very obvious for me, especially what has happened in our past in only few battles that we have had. I feel obliged to make sure that, especially this is her last game, especially what happened in our UPPA game that didn't end up like going as we wanted to together. It was important for me that, hey, let's resolve this in a manner that each side is comfortable walking away from it. So,
yeah. So the TLDR is that we kind of concluded that I think there's a multiple world that exists where the disconnect doesn't happen and a series of events plays out where Elias probably wins with the Raikou. You know, there's always question marks, there's always something else, but at the point where we were calling, I was kind of already conceding defeat. And then it ended up being a situation where because of the time crunch nature of the recreation, it created a situation where things just turned out in a very weird way. So the game ends in a very scuffed note. Hence my confusion on my live comm, you know, when I ended up winning the game, and I'm sure Elias's, you know, reactions during that end game as well. So the resolution that we ended up coming to was just that, like fuck this, like we're both champions of Galar. Like,
yeah. God.
I
like
think
essentially it just became like how I feel about it, why I feel very concede and like comfortable with the decision is that each of us could have argued that we could have won that game. Like obviously, like the way we end up managing to recreate, the end result was that you were going to win. Mm-hmm. If things would have played out a little bit in a natural way and there weren't going to be a disconnection, you admitted that it's probably going to be a case that I would have won.
Yeah.
So I feel like it wasn't ever going to be a fair from this situation that we put ourselves in and we were put ourselves into outside of our own hands, is to not punish one side from it necessarily. Yeah. And in the end, for us, it's important to look at the bigger picture. I wanted us to have a really good finals, a really good game, and the result is very minor part for me. What is to the bigger picture? Because I got to be the last opponent for Addison, so I wanted to make sure that let's leave it in a good note, something that we both feel happy with, and it felt just like a right thing to do in our situation.
Yeah, and while I know that this might not be the most satisfying ending to a what I think was a very great season, not just for Elias and myself, but just the season as a whole and all the coaches that we had in the Champions of Galar, I think it's a very fitting ending for the generation because we've had to deal with this scuffed timer, these LAN connection issues, all of these things that make it very difficult to play Gen 8 Wi-Fi, and I think a lot of that almost in like a poetic way came out in our finals game, and I think the most poetic way to resolve it in turn is just to say, you know what, like we both kicked ass this season, which we're so proud of each other for. We helped each other the entire way through. Like to leave sort of like dishonoring the other and just kind of stealing it from the other person on either of our sides, it would feel wrong for either of us. Like this is just the result that like we can both walk away from and be like, great. So I mean, it's like it's a goofy way to end a league to just say, oh, double win, but I'm super happy and comfortable doing it. Plus, like, you know, Galar needs a king and a Galar needs a queen, so
here we are.
So bow down to the reign, the permanent reign of your new champions of Galar. And I just want to say to you, Elias, like, thank you again for the game. And I'm very grateful and happy that, you know, I can end my draft league career for at least the foreseeable future against you, who, you know I love and adore. So and like, for what it's worth, even despite the disconnects, like the game is really fucking good. Like I think we both made like super good plays, we both had super fun sets. Like I think, especially since we have a history of scuffed battles, so I guess we should have expected something like this. The game in itself was actually really enjoyable, so thank you a lot.
It's in the end, as much as it meant for you to get to play me as your last game, it was like it went for both ways. Like we talked about like for months, like throughout this summer, that this is our goal. We are gonna do our absolute best into making to the finals, and you were already teasing the idea that this probably will be your last league that you're gonna be planning to do for foreseeable future. So it was something like this is the last son of me enjoying the time spending with you, doing the things that we have done for like 2 years ever since OWL. And I can speak for a lot of people, but I'm also gonna speak for my end as well while at it. I couldn't be more grateful that you did invite me to the OWL. We got to know each other. Regardless, like there's gonna be arguments that I might be seen as the best player in the league, but I know you've been a huge part of helping me become a better player. But most importantly, also, as we have known each other, you helped me a lot as a person to become better and realize that there's things for me to get better at myself, and you have also helped a lot of people when it comes to, like, you're also somebody that you're willing to help a lot of people when it comes to draft league scene. It's not like we help each other, you help so many other people out there. Like, it's kind of obvious seeing how many Pokemon even nicknamed after you through this season that you are helping a lot of people. And that's why I think, like, as much as I'm thinking for my end, when it comes to helping and becoming a better player, there's so many people out there, either your friends, somebody that you're front office with, or even your viewers, because you do present your videos in a way that I think a lot of people have been able to learn from you, starting from the days when you were making guides and in your draft league games in itself. So I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people that not own up to you, that's the wrong way to say it, but like looked up to you and kind of noticed that you've been a big help along the way. And I'm going to be missing you. I'm sure there's going to be friends that in Prep City, for example, that are going to be missing you being on your hiatus or retirement or whatever it's going to end up being. and I'm sure there's going to be viewers that are going to be missing seeing you playing. But hopefully, if you made it this far in the video, I hope to see in the comment section hashtag thank you Addison, cause this is her last hoorah, and I couldn't honestly be happier here to share with you. And thanks for everything.
You're gonna make me cry. Fuck. I love you, man. Yeah. That means a lot. Thank you. I'm just so grateful that I was able to somehow just show up in the Wi-Fi scene and really leave a mark and meet all these amazing people, including you, but just the entire community is just fucking awesome, man. And to be able to, you know, create this league, create, you know, so many friendships and networks, and just, I don't know, be in this community. It's an honor, and I'm not dying. I mean, I'll still be around. It's just, you know, I'm not gonna be playing anymore. So, you know, there's a sense of, you know, that's it.
And also part of it, like, I guess, just as a final thing that before I forget to mention, it's also like makes me really happy to see that now that you're moving into next chapter in your life. As like most of you probably know by now, she does live in London now. And I'm really happy to see as a friend like how things have been kind of falling in place for you over there. You found yourself your school, you're getting hang of it. You are able to finally like feel like you're finally able to be yourself as you are, and just do things that makes you happy. And that's like, I couldn't be more happier to see and witness and see like on a Twitter like expressing yourself, like meeting somebody as well that seems to be somebody really important to you. So like seeing all this, like as you're walking away from Draft League, I'm gonna be missing you a lot, of course, but like it makes me really happy to see that you're in this kind of like states of mind as well, because I'm even in the 2 years, I probably didn't even caught you in like in some of the cases where you really had your big struggles, like Dr. Slacking, for example, who is probably somebody like you have a lot to thank for.
Yeah.
But like even in this period of time that I've seen you, like I've seen your growth, and now I'm like really happy to see that now you get to like spread your wings and now you can really be yourself out there. And you know, I really hope one day I do get to see you in London.
You have an open
like,
invitation.
See other
come, you know.
Yeah. But like, regardless, that's another thing that I'm just really happy as you walk away, that I know that you're walking away and recreating a better tomorrow as well while at it.
Thank you. I didn't know this would turn into this. Now very emotional.
No, but I know it's like,
jerk.
I'm sorry if it's really cringy for yourself or anybody else.
No, it's like, not. I'm just like, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, but it's something like this is your moment.
This is what the king and queen gotta, you know. This is how we. This is our reign. You own Galar. We're the champions, baby.
By the way, we don't always when we talk about this is like 1% how we talk to each other, so it's also like a special occasion that, you know,
yeah,
we actually compliment each other instead of like, you know, teasing each other and, you know, pulling some bullshit on each other all the time.
Wild. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. I just, you know, to wrap things up, I'll just say this. I think you, without a question at this point, like, you were the player of the generation. Like, I mean, like, absolutely, like, you were there from the start, you were there to the end, you were always fucking great. I learned a lot from you. You inspire me a lot to be a better player this generation, and I'm very happy that, you know, we got to spend, and we will get to spend future time, you know, in you know, being friends and just, you know, bonding over Mons. But I think our friendship has grown even further than that, so it means a lot to me for you to say all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it. We're the co-champions, baby. How's it feel? How's it feel, champion?
it feels. It's been an amazing season. Like as I said to you privately, this was my favorite season in Generation 8, and it's been awesome to see. And like, thank you to everybody. Like, even as I'm like not admin for anything, but like everybody that I've been scheduling with and tried like work with and getting this season done, everybody seemed to be very cooperative. I think that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
And like things have like seemingly, at least as a coach, things have like seamlessly gone really well. People have been pretty much up on time in their uploading scene, knowing the fact that this is like a end of Gen 8 thing, and like I can admit, like I was squeezing the last drops of lemon out of myself, like really try to give a best showing as I can, and I feel like a lot of people were able to do that themselves as their best capabilities as well. And it's I can be proudly be like I've been part of this or that you have created, and it's been amazing, right? It's a great way to end this generation for sure.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just close out by saying, thank you all the other coaches who participated in the season, the fans who like stayed up to date with the videos. I thought season 1 it would be pretty much impossible to top, and this, I mean, knocked it out of the water. I mean, not only was every single coach just like on top of their shit and like produced really good, really quality content, but I think the competition levels were way higher, and I think that the fan engagement was also just like far more than I could ever expect. So thank you everyone. Thank you for making my idea a reality. It's not possible without the coaches and without the fans. So appreciate all of you, and yeah, here's hoping for a better timer. Here's hoping for no more LAN issues in Gen 9, knock on wood, but we'll see, I guess, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Until next time, whenever it's gonna be for either of us, like I'm gonna be saying it as ending note as well. She is walking in her retirement for future, foreseeable future. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do in Gen 9, so I'm gonna be probably gonna making some sort of like update for my general alone, of course, how I feel about the game as I've been playing the game, which is coming out very soon, exactly in a week as you're gonna be seeing this. So we'll see where my own mind is in that, but until next time, I guess, for each of us.
All right. Bye, everyone.